I exposed my mother-in-law. I told my husband she is a cheater. Should I have done it? This is OKOP, where we read the craziest true stories on earth. I am John and producer Riley. Do we think this person should have exposed their mother-in-law?
If you're trying to get a break from your mother-in-law, do whatever you have. Use whatever tools you have to get her to shut up.
By any means necessary.
By any means necessary. Just throw it right into her face. I think, nah, not the a-hole.
Well, there's only one way to find out what happens. Spill that tea! So, this story comes from Buljan Boji.
Ooh.
So, I, 27 female, and my husband, Liam, 25 male, have been married for 2 years, but we've known each other since middle school. My sister, Naya, 31 female, recently separated from her husband because she was having an affair. Oh, man, she was the culprit. I know that it's wrong, and I've been open and honest about what happened with my husband. The thing is, she's going through a really rough time right now because his ex is turning their kids against her and she needs support. Last night, my husband and I had an argument about it, and he said that I shouldn't associate with Naya and that it's my niece and nephew who really need my support. Which I kind of get. It's a tough thing because she was the one that cheated, so that's tough. That's tough. We argued about it and it got loud between us, and I just pointed out that he's never cut his mom off and she cheated on his dad nonstop until the day he died.
Whoa.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. That's a nuclear bomb.
I mean, damn.
She has a good point.
I mean, she has a
She has a
point,
good
but yeah, dude, I don't know. That's the red button.
Yeah.
She pressed that button.
Yeah. And like, who's she trying to still hang out with? Her sister?
Her sister. She's trying to support her sister, who is the cheater. So like, I don't know if she has the grounds to press the nuclear button.
Kind of. It's family.
It is. I mean, she is correct. Like, she's just like stating what we are presuming is a fact. Well, my husband got really quiet, and it's not like we've stopped talking, but we have stopped talking about my sister.
Shut him up.
She kind of did. My husband is Chinese, and his father was from Hong Kong. His father was in his late 40s when he went to Vietnam and married his mother, Fan, who is barely 18.
Oh.
Dang. That is an age difference.
But back then, like,
It's a different time and a different culture, but
still,
that's a little crazy. She was still 18 when Liam was born and they had immigrated. Now, I want to point out, you would not know that Fan is an immigrant. She spent years getting rid of her accent. She's got veneers. She got into an engineering college and has a really high paying job.
Oh, so Fan's the mother-in-law?
Ah, Fan is the mother-in-law. You're right. Except, as my husband has told me, she constantly cheated on his father, and she trained him since he was a little kid not to tell him. His father died thinking she was loyal, and I get it from the husband's perspective. He never knew she was wrong to do that. But he did eventually learn, and it's not like he's cut her out of his life. So I don't see why what I said was an a-hole move, but maybe I am wrong. We have a quick comment coming up, but Riley, we got to take a super quick pit stop here.
What is this mother-son relationship here? Okay. Uh-oh.
I'm throwing a red flag on OP. You ready for me?
Okay.
She said, I don't understand why me saying like his mom was a cheater was an a-hole move. Like, yes, it's true, but like, it kind of depends on exactly how her argument with her husband has gone.
Okay.
But I'm like, it does seem kind of like an unnecessarily blow to make.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, and to like, not be like, maybe I was like a little too harsh there. Like, that's what what I would expect her to say, to be like, I do not see at all how I'm the a-hole, versus being like, you know what? Maybe I overstepped my boundaries, but what I still said was true. That's what I was kind of hoping to hear from.
But she's taking like no blame.
She's like, how am I the a-hole right now?
Yeah, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
Not thinking of it very, how do you call it? Non-biased. It's very biased.
Yeah. That being said, not having empathy, because that's probably why her husband is so bothered by her cheating sister, right? Because he realized later in life, like, his mom trained him since he was a kid. So he had this like glass broken moment, basically probably traumatized from that.
Yeah.
And is like, I don't like cheaters.
Yeah. And he wants something to do with them.
Yeah. Now, I mean, dude, this is such a complicated thing. And we'll get back into the story, but like the other thing that came to mind is like, listen, 40-year-old, 18-year-old, maybe she didn't like the way that everything was like planned out and how it kind of just played out. Maybe she kind of didn't have much of a choice, low key. I don't know if there was like what if there was like pressure for her to get in this marriage? I'm like making assumptions at this point, but like,
what was the whole situation? What's the context here?
Yeah, because like later she, you know, went to engineering school, all this different stuff. Like, you know, she made a great life for herself, but I don't know, maybe she just felt like so trapped.
This is like her way to escape.
Oh, her way to escape, maybe?
Yeah.
Like I could totally see that being true as well. So I don't even necessarily yet want to throw the mom under the bus. We don't have enough context. We don't have enough information. So we're going to get back to the story and see what's going on here. So this is OP's lengthy comment about her mother-in-law. I just saw this and I want to point this out. My husband's relationship with his mother is complicated because he loves her dearly. He would never call her a bad parent, and his therapist and I are the only ones he's ever talked to about how she used to act. I honestly couldn't reconcile what he told me about his mother with the woman I know, because after we got married, she gave me the biggest hug and said, I finally have a daughter. That's why I'm kind of like, I still have my theory that like maybe she wasn't in a good relationship.
She sounds like a great person.
Yeah. And like maybe she was just trying to escape and didn't feel like she had another way out. So, but we'll see. But since he was a little kid, she'd expose him to her affairs, and he's seen and heard far more than any child should have seen. No, she didn't literally do the dirty deed with her partners right in front of his eyes. She even told him once, never find a woman like me. It's to the point where I feel certain that it was abusive, but he refuses to accept that because he sees them as quote unquote just affairs, even though he goes to therapy over how it messed him up. Okay, so that's more context that I was saying we needed. Maybe it was like she was just dipping out of the marriage and, you know, not what we were saying originally.
Yeah.
To him, his mother is the woman who always volunteered at his school, worked as the duty mom at lunch, despite her actual job, would drive an hour to our university multiple times a week just to check in on him or give him lunch or cook him dinner, who still calls him every night just to tell him that she loves him. That's what he sees his mother as, even though he knows how wrong it was of her to do what she did. And yes, I asked if his mom hurt him so much, why let him be close? And his answer is always the same, and it's just that she needs him. Maybe that's what makes me wrong in having used that to make my point. But I love my sister, and I'm scared that what's going on could push her to the deep end. I feel like she needs me, just as he feels that his mom needs him. I don't want my niece and nephew to lose their mother, but I'm scared that they might.
Okay, this is what I see. She's a great mom, just wasn't a great wife. And I feel like, in a way, OP's sister may be a great sister, but just not a great wife. You know, that's what
you're right.
Kind of seems like. So I'm just kind of a little messed up in the head why the husband looks at his mom through that filter, but can't look at
Naya through that filter.
Yes.
Because Naya didn't do all these loving and actually incredible like motherly duties to him. And I again just got to give OP a little bit of a red flag, a little baby wave here, just because I don't feel like she's having any accountability for her sister. I think it's totally fine, especially if it sounds like she's worried that there might be some self-harm or some like drastic self-harm potential here, which is totally a fair point. And there's the niece and the nephew, and maybe right now she can't hold her accountable. That's fine. I just haven't heard OP said, yes, my sister effed up majorly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like broke her home, you know, broke the trust of her relationship, whatever. But right now, I kind of just need to bring her back to a place of stability before, like, I could totally understand that approach if that was what she was saying. But, and this is maybe why the husband is frustrated, is like, she's not seemingly holding her accountable at all. Not even like pressing her to be accountable right now, but just like, you know, just in general.
Yeah. I just don't understand like why the husband is like, you can't have a relationship with your sister, but I can still have a relationship with my mother.
Yeah, that's true.
Also went to therapy and processed through all those things.
Totally.
Like, why can he not like have that connection? You know,
that's his red flag for sure. And I had been meaning to get to that. So thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's probably the rose tinted glasses from your mother raising you and like just being like, bro, being programmed from like birth up, that's when it gets crazy. So I can like logically understand where his like, you know, kind of brainwashing from his mom comes from. I understand it. But yeah, like it's kind of time to break out of the mold and listen to your wife and your therapist. And I also think that two things can be true at once for him. She could have been this amazing mother to him, and maybe a unfaithful, probably not great partner to his dad. I think that those two things can exist at the same time. You know, and it seems like that is the case, like that she was a good mother, but then she was like truly cheating with the husband as far as we know.
One last thing about OP. I think OP is just in the denial stage of this whole thing with her sister.
Yeah.
It's like too soon.
Too soon.
Not too soft. Too soon. That's why she's saying these things.
That makes a ton of sense.
And they're pointing at each other.
That it's Spider-Man memes galore over here.
But I think you got some comments for me?
We do. From the first post, OP responds to a person assuming her husband saw her mother-in-law without clothes as a child. Pretty much. He saw more of his mother than he should have, where she'd go to greet her lovers and was just told to sit on the couch and watch TV by her while it was going on. Yikes. That's bad. Beyond that, he might not have seen her actually doing it with her lovers, but he heard it. There were also times when his mother would yell at his dad for not being man enough to give her a daughter. That made him feel unwanted. That said, his mother did smooth that over with him. OP responded to a person calling her mother-in-law an awful parent. Maybe she is, but he would never call her that. For Mother's Day, he took her to Seattle and treated her to a wonderful day. For her birthday, he rented out a hall and threw her an amazing celebration. Wow. Opie's doing the most. And if he can still do so much for his mother when she did such wrong to him, I don't see why I can't be there for my sister who has done so much for him. That is a good point. That is a good point. Opie responding to a person saying that her mother-in-law is not a good parent. I agree. It doesn't make her a good one, but he'd go down insisting that she's the best mother. On this comment, OP responds to a person asking why she is supporting her sister and not her niece and nephew. That's an interesting question. Obviously, they're important, but guess what? They need their mother, and they need their mother to be healthy right now. I'm all she has. So excuse me if I don't give them because their idiot father isn't letting them give their mother any time. OP on her mother-in-law being trafficked. His mother was not trafficked, and she herself would say that she wasn't.
Okay.
That's very good to hear.
Yeah.
She has been in constant contact with her family since she left Vietnam and has been on vacations there with nobody but my husband since he was 2 years old. If she wanted to leave his father, then she could have. Do I agree with a man near 50 marrying a teenager? Hell no. But my mother-in-law was not trafficked. She saw her husband as a ticket to a better life and she took it. Now that explains the context. So basically she was like, hey, here's this guy who wants to marry me, is down to marry me, and this is my ticket out. So that's where she didn't treat it as like a loving relationship. It wasn't that it was necessarily forced or trafficking or something like really bad along those lines. It was just like kind of a sugar daddy situation almost. Like, hey, I can go to America. And, you know, she did capitalize on that. I mean, she got her degree, she got her high paying job, she did all these different things with it. It seemed like she was able to acclimate into society really well.
Dude, give me a hat. Give me the tinfoil hat. My gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude, good throw. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Hold on. Ooh, Riley's first tinfoil hat moment. What do you got for us?
So, one, she only saw OP's husband, or the dad, as a better way to a better life. So she did not love the husband's dad whatsoever, the dad at all.
We can potentially assume, yep.
I saw how much of a mother that she is for OP's husband.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is she like giving him so much love? It's because like she didn't give that love for her husband. She'd give that to the son.
Right.
And that's just a very interesting thing. And like why she was able to fool around and like was really hard on the dad because she only saw him as like the ticket, didn't really see him as a person.
Yeah, like I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. Basically, you're saying like maybe there was some guilt that she felt about like kind of using the dad. And she's like, all right, I might be like totally using the dad, but to make up for it, I'm going to love the crap out of my son and do the most for him and use that as a way to like ease my guilt out.
Even though there are tinfoil hats on our head, our wavelengths are the same.
That is correct. Yeah, I totally think that that's a very, very plausible theory. Great tinfoil hat moment. Hey, round of applause for Riley's first tinfoil hat moment, ladies and gentlemen. Crushed it. But let's get into the next part of the story.
What?
On to the juicy update. I don't have much to say, since it's clear that my account got downvoted into being banned. Dang! However, my husband saw my post last night because he himself has talked a lot about his situation on Reddit since it's anonymous. It's me, his therapist, and online forums. It made him laugh because he wasn't sure if I was trying to attack his mother or defend her. It led to a talk about his mother and my sister and my niece and nephew, and we came to the decision that we were too involved, which I see as a kind of fair thing, honestly. I will still be there for my sister, and he'll still be there for his mother, but we've decided to take a snap vacation to Mexico next week. 2 weeks where we just get to be us with no other family members and celebrate Christmas alone. So, while I disagree with a lot of things people said about me and my sister, I thank you because it made my husband laugh, and now we're going to Mexico.
Wow.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect that as the ending of this story, but I get OP's concern for her sister, especially if there's self-harm involved. 1000%. I think she does want to do it, and her intention is to do it for the betterment of her sister's family, meeting like the children and, you know, her sister and all of that good stuff. But also at the end of the day, they're kind of like very involved in which happens, this is family, but I think you can argue that they kind of don't need to be.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad that they're like, you know what, let's take a beat and go to Mexico.
Yeah. Let's just kind of forget about this whole thing. There was one comment I want you to read.
Yes. I saw that.
The mother is Vietnamese, so this is a very interesting comment about like that kind of culture.
Okay, yes. So let's check it out. This is from Sweet Ragnort. This... Gotta love it. This may be an important point. Being Asian myself, our cultural backgrounds can blur the lines between morals and filial loyalty. Is that familial loyalty?
I would say so.
Or is filial a word? Like, family is everything. Parents can do no wrong kind of mentality. It's indoctrinated deeply to people who are raised in those traditional ways. Okay, so that's a very important factor there. So if your entire culture, not just your mom, your entire culture is telling you like basically from birth, like, oh no, you ride or die for your parents no matter what.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. That is definitely a big factor to consider here. Great comment. Do you have another comment for me?
Yeah, there are some people like talking about that point of view.
So Cephalopod Overlord says, thank you, that's perfect. I think that this is a big part of her husband's thinking, possibly combined with lots of assumptions here, an older father who probably wasn't as involved emotionally.
Ooh.
It also happens in non-Asian families. People forgiving bad behavior because, hey, they're family, but totally condemning someone else doing the same thing. What they're saying is...
The husband was thinking like this, like, even though the mom did all this wrong stuff, he's like, still that ride or die.
Right. It further deepens on like, look, it's family. So I will there's like a family pass.
Yeah.
I will give my family the pass, but someone who's not family, I will hold them like way more accountable to. Yeah. That makes sense. So basically, it seems like there's people from other cultures, not just Vietnamese or Asian, that are kind of like echoing the same sentiments. So
like have major respect for your elders, even though they do a lot of wrong.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it totally seems like a common theme, and it makes a ton of sense. I could totally see that. So it just seems like the husband is basically giving his mom a pretty big pass here for all of this stuff. A lot of different nooks and crannies in this story.
You know what nook and cranny I wish you would give me?
What?
Another story.
Let's do it. I banned my kids from my uncle's funeral, but I have a good reason. Should I have done it? Should OP have banned his kids from the uncle's funeral?
Yeah, kids and funerals don't mix, man.
Did you go to any funerals as a child?
Oh, dude, I I have an okay story time actually for that. Did you?
Yes. Yeah, I went to...
Please don't say you went to a lot. That's sad.
A few.
That's still sad.
Maybe at least 2 or 3. So, yeah, there is only one way to find out what happens in this story, Riley. Spill that tea! And this one comes from Around the Twist IRL.
Wow.
This is going to be a bit of a long one, and I apologize for the grammar. Me, male 27, and my brother is male 25. Starting with the present day, my uncle has suddenly passed passed away. And with the relationship between my brother and a lot of my family, including myself, I don't feel comfortable with my wife and kids being around him at a funeral. But I know my mother's side of the family will guilt me and such for not bringing them.
Interesting. What's up with this brother?
Now to the lore of the situation. My younger brother, let's call him Finn, is a very selfish person when it comes to nearly everything. He's very manipulative and thinks everyone and everything owes him something.
Fan was the mother-in-law before this, and now it's Finn. That's funny.
Finn. The very first instance of this was 8 years ago when he wanted to move out of our mom's but had nowhere to go and only worked part-time at Macca's, his first job. So my wife and I let him move in with us. Okay, I can put ICU in the comments if you see what's about to go down. We didn't have much of a relationship before this. We just lived separate lives, basically. The problem started when he had some friends over, which isn't a big problem, but I had a no drugs policy as I shared custody of my daughter and didn't want to risk that. I caught him late one night with his friends doing the bad stuff, and that was his warning. I warned him that if I find/catch drugs in the home another time, he's out. Cut to a month later, I found his hidden stash in a drawer of a cupboard outside and gave him 1 week's notice to leave. He did end up moving out and made no contact with us for a while. 6 months later, where he just pretended nothing happened. However, over that 6 months, Finn spun a bunch of lies about me and my wife, saying that we never cleaned. He did all the cleaning, cleaned out our pet's poop and urinated everywhere, and we made our daughter sleep in it and such, which definitely is not true. However, we moved on and pretended nothing happened to stay on due course. Very quickly pause here. So it kind of depends on like what he was using, I think. If it's a hard drug, like immediate, like absolute
Get
no
out.
go. If it was like weed,
Yeah.
like something as light as that.
I think you definitely give a few warnings if you don't want your kids to be around it.
At the end of the day, this is OP's house. So OP is well within their right. And like, there's so many reasons why it's, you know, it's totally fine. But I am wondering, depending on what exactly it was, I mean, it's kind of hard to even say he was too harsh because at the end of the day, his house, his rules. I'm letting you stay with me. So like,
Gotta follow my rules.
it's a respect thing at the end of the day. So this question honestly maybe isn't even worth asking, but I'm going to ask it anyways because this is a podcast and we like to have fun. If it was indeed weed, like was it like a little bit overkill, like a little bit too hard to come out that strong?
Yeah. If you like came from someone like with my background and like very conservative, I feel like the first time they caught it, he would have been out immediately.
Yeah.
Like this looks very lenient on my end, especially
Right.
like
Okay.
with him
Yeah.
having
Fair.
custody with his daughter. Like that's something you definitely don't want to lose. That's hard to get back.
Yeah, that's so true. I don't think I was fully processing the implications of that.
Yeah.
But I guess like if somehow, I guess he's sharing custody with the mother of the child, we have to assume. So like if the mother of the child is like, yo, I'm trying to get custody and I'm going to use anything I can find. Oh, look at this little baggie over here that I can use. Then that is leverage for him to lose his child. So it's really, yeah, it's like OP's probably less worried about like, okay, like smoking in the house. Like, okay, yes, don't do that. But it's like, no, I want to keep my daughter.
Yeah.
And anything that like endangers that, clear the line. Okay. Yeah. Who cares? OP should get to lay down the law the way they want. But you know, I was just curious to pick everyone's brains on that.
What do you guys think? Was he being a little too harsh?
Let us know. Let us know in the comments. Maybe there's something there, but let's get back to the story. The next event happened approximately a year later with Finn and his then girlfriend separating, with Finn going ballistic. The cops were called on Finn, and to this day, no one knows what happened between Finn and his girlfriend, but she does have a court order in place to keep him away, but it's not a restraining order. I forget the name of it. No one during this time was out of Finn's firing line. He mouthed off our father and stepmom quite a lot over the next few months as he stayed with them, continuing to do and sell drugs. Now we're like, again, like there was like, maybe if it was like something like weed, like again, like he still had no right, but like it's at least like not as terrible. Sell, we have to assume this is legal, that he's not like California licensed, you know, growing it. No, this is like almost certainly not what's happening here.
There's a difference between he works at a CBD store and he sells drugs.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, he's a young budding entrepreneur, pun intended. But like you're kind of like bringing that to your parents' house, low key. Like
It's giving Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Oh, is that? I've never truly watched it. Was that his setup that he was like living at his house and just like?
Yeah, it was like he like had a tough break. He was like a hard meth user, and he went back to his parents and like some things, and he had weed or whatever. But apparently, it was his younger brother. Yeah, it's giving that kind of vibe.
Right.
Like they thought he changed, but he didn't.
Ah, come on, Jesse. During this time, our older brother got Finn a job with him. Not a lot happened over the next 4 years. Relationships mended slowly. Everyone got on for Christmas and birthdays. Cue to the next canon event. Finn fell off a ladder at work. Nothing came from this for about 6 months. He had a few days off work after the incident and then worked for the next 6 months. Then our eldest brother left the job and started his own business. And Finn also left the job with both of us older brothers doing the whole process for him. We managed to get him compensated for the fall off the ladder, with him receiving quite a large sum of money. He still has never even thanked us for this. The process took about a year and a half, in which Finn didn't work and his current girlfriend paid the majority of everything, and Finn borrowed the other money from our mom.
Oh.
Put I see you in the comments if you see some things coming.
Dang, that's
Riley,
so
what
tough.
are you seeing coming?
Like after 4 years, you seeing him like put it working, like looking like he's doing better.
Yeah.
And then he's getting money, a lot of money from places, and maybe
Yeah.
bad habits are starting to come back.
Could be fine if he pays everyone back with interest. I'm not even joking, bro. Like imagine he was like, and I doubt that this is the case. You could almost argue he's like, look, I have a big opportunity with this, which is true because he ended up winning a lot of money. And he's like, I mean, it's stupid that he didn't just work in the meantime. Like he should have just
worked on something.
Yeah, so that's okay. So maybe that kind of cancels it out of like, man, I'm canceling out a lot of my takes today.
It wasn't like super serious because he fell off the ladder, and then after a few days, he
went back to work. Yeah, so it's like, why were you not working during? It's like you're not the lawyer on the case, So it's like, why not make money while you're waiting, and then you get the lump sum, and then it's like absolute icing on the cake, right?
Just always chase the bag.
Chase the bag, baby. Big producer Riley, big protein, talking about that paper, baking like a bread, like a baker. Okay, yeah.
Where did that come from? I would have punched my computer. I'm fired up.
We're ready, baby.
Woo!
Reading stories. Anyways, now we are approximately a year and a half in the past. Finn, with too much money for his own good, is still doing plenty of drugs and such, but he does begin to get back to work. This being for our older brother having landed a big job. However, Finn didn't take being told what to do well at all. And even though our older brother was paying him $70 per hour.
What?
Dude, you are chilling. What's the quick math on that?
I got
40
you, dog.
hour 40-hour work week. What are we looking at for a 40-hour work week? $134,000 a year. Now, we don't know that he's working 40 hours a week, all this stuff, but suffice to say, $70 per hour is a great rate. But you ready for this, Riley? He snapped one day, quitting and walking off site, and this is when crap really hit the fan. Finn began telling anyone who would listen about what a horrible person our older brother is and calling him anything under the sun. And anyone who said different was accused of favoring our older brother. This included our parents. Over the next few weeks, Finn got worse and worse with threats towards our older brother and more lies. People began to call Finn out on his nonsense, and each time it happened, he then turned on them, with him threatening to cut people out of his life and hurt them. It continued to get worse, with him threatening to end the life of and or break our older brother's arm, and threatening to do the same to our mom and stepmom.
Oh, he's not thinking right.
Oh my God. No one was safe from harassment, and it all came to a head when Finn's girlfriend called me saying that he's going nuclear and she doesn't know what to do. This whole time he had been doing drugs and assuming that that's also exacerbating things. So I feel like it's not weed with that comment.
Yeah, it's like just getting worse.
Yeah. It ends with us calling the cops on him. They detain him and he is set to court the next day. A lot of us show up in court to show him we are a family, but he still hasn't learned his lesson. It ends with a warning for him to pull his head in and an order for Finn's girlfriend and our older brother that if he harms them or threatens them, he will be arrested, which I think that's great. I think that's great. What about the mom and the stepmom too? That's also my question. He has now basically cut contact with us. Any conversation with him over the next month is just a screaming match. He finally snaps again and threatens to go to the local shopping center naked with a brush cutter, in which we inform the police again and they arrest him. He is obtained for a month in a psych evaluation ward and is weaned off any drugs he's on.
Ooh.
We have to stop right here. So like I was going to say it and then the last line kind of confirmed it. There are some serious mental health issues at play here. Like this isn't just someone that's just like salty and like just a bitter person and like all these things. This is a serious mental health issues that are going down. And I'm glad that he went to the psychiatric like evaluation to like probably get a diagnosis of something that probably no one, including Finn himself, knows about, you know, that maybe could be treated. And maybe he seemed to be decently functioning.
It looked like he was dabbling in drugs, and then the 4 years it was good. But then like ever since he got back, he went so much deeper this time.
He absolutely showed glimpses, like for instance, not respecting OP's rules in his house when he was like crashing there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, he already had that, but this is honestly a wholly different category. I'm glad that they were able to get the court-ordered protections in place, number one. And number two, I'm glad that he's getting the psychiatric evaluation. Hopefully they can kind of figure out what's going on and I don't know, medication, you know, just something to kind of help maybe level it out, because maybe that kind of solves a lot of the issues for what's at play here. But we do have more of the story. I just had to pause real quick because that was a little nutty. Now, once he was released, he has only been in contact with our mom and grandparents, and they are just enabling him to pretend he did nothing wrong.
Oh, no, that's
the worst thing you could do.
It's going to get even worse.
It's the worst thing you could do. The rest of the family doesn't feel this way, and we are holding him accountable for all the things that he has said and done. He has not made an attempt to contact any of us to this present day. I believe he's just hoping we will play his game and pretend nothing's wrong. So here we are. I don't want to expose my family to him, regardless of how or who he is. So I asked the question, would I be the a-hole for not bringing my family to the funeral? Really quick, who is the funeral for again?
Oh, it's for the uncle. It's for the uncle.
So, but he just doesn't want to bring his kids there around Finn and whatnot. Okay, this goes without saying, but this is just the main things that happened. Obviously, there have been thousands of calls and texts and other things he said and done over the last 8 years, which I'm not choosing to hold him accountable for as well. I can give more examples if wanted. Another thing I should say is that we don't have any close relationship with this uncle. I have met him only 5 times and my wife once. We are mainly attending for my stepdad and my grandmother.
So the question is, would he be a-hole for not bringing his family to the funeral?
So he's not even saying not him, but just not his family.
Yeah, he's just going to go to represent.
Because he's like, yeah, I think that's totally fair. I do think it would be good to, it seems like most of the family realizes that Finn is just
off the rocker,
not in the right place, and being like, listen, the reason why I don't want to bring my family is because I don't want them to be around Finn. I don't think that that's like a good move. I will be there. I will be there representing my family. And like, in all honesty, like it totally is good and a sign of respect for like, if, you know, my girlfriend had a funeral attend and wanted me to go, I would totally go out of respect, right? Like that is a respectful thing to do. Even if I had like no history, connection, whatever with that person, I feel like it's a respectful thing to do. But in this scenario, I think it's totally warranted. And he's still attending the funeral. And the family, and especially the kids, I mean, he met the uncle 5 times. They've probably never met him ever.
Yeah. He's not really a close family figure. If he was close, it would be way more tricky.
Yeah.
It would be a more tricky situation. But no, you're not the a-hole at all. You're good, man. Here's my question though.
Talk to me.
You're going to the funeral. Like, I think what OP is going to do, he's going to go to the funeral without the family. How do you carry yourself when people ask you, hey, where's the wife and kids? Or how's the wife and kids doing? Like, with those questions that will come. How do you carry yourself with that?
You obviously could just be really straightforward and be like, I don't feel comfortable with them being here with Finn. But we're also assuming Finn is at the funeral.
Yeah.
So I think to like not stir up drama and also like, you know, not pull away from the focus of the funeral, I would say something like there was like a kind of an issue and unfortunately they weren't able to attend.
Honestly, like a little white lie. I would say a little white lie. I'd be like, wife and kids are doing something special, or like school event happened this weekend, or like, you know.
There's a big thing thing that happened. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that my wife and kids just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
You know,
I would do that. Probably the right thing to do.
yeah.
Have the least amount of confrontation.
Because you don't want to like steal the shine away for our, I shouldn't say shine, but you don't want to kind of like steal the thunder
From the grieving and stuff.
or, you know, not intentionally, but accidentally set off some sort of big drama that like distracts from the grieving.
You don't know what Finn would do. I mean, he
really don't.
may be off drugs, but like if he's out and the people he's closest with are pretending nothing happened, he's probably still on it. And you don't know where his head is.
You really don't. So yeah, I think just keeping it as like simple and plain as possible. Like I don't think it helps to, you know, exactly detail out all the true reasons why. I think it's best to just kind of like play it safe. But Riley, I don't even want to ask, but you gave us an okay story time and we have to honor the okay story time. So tell me what we got. What is it?
So the most memorable funeral that I went to as a kid was when I was 10.
Okay.
On my dad's side, my dad's dad died. One of my grandpas.
Yeah.
And he died playing golf. He was in the rough and he hit it and he had a heart attack. But he was also like smoking and drinking and he was like 60 or something like that.
Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh.
I was not close with his grandfather. He had like 4 wives, was not really a good dad for my dad, like a good father figure.
Yeah.
I think so. My dad's dad and my grandma were Spud and Nana. Spud and Nana were only together for like 2 years. They were both teachers and they got together, had my dad, Sid, and then they broke apart.
Right.
And then there's some other things I have, but Nana and Sid did not have a really good relationship either. Like, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So my dad's side of the family wasn't like the super best side. I'm really close with my mom's side of the family, but he had a funeral and I met him like once or twice. He got me like a really cool toy Jeep when I was young. It was pretty baller.
Oh, the one that you drive in?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, those are sick.
Yeah, he got me that one. Me and
Those
my
are
brother.
sick, dude.
The way my house is laid out, like my grandpa's house, this is so southern. Oh my gosh. I could walk to my grandfather's house through the woods. So like I would drive through like all the woods into my house and stuff like that.
So funny.
Yeah. You have to come to my house one day.
I know. Riley's been petitioning me because you may not know this, viewers, but great okay storytime banter. I grew up in Florida, but I have a lot of family and ties in North Carolina. So me and Riley have connected on this many a time.
Every time I visit, I do a little tour. I'm like, got to go to my aunt's, got to go to my great-grandpa's, got to go to my grandma's, got to see mom, got to do it again, see my cousin.
It's been a long time, but the last, we had a giant family reunion of probably like 150 plus people. It was huge. It was humongous. Every year we have like a Christmas Eve party with like probably 50 to not 100, but like close to that. Like 50s,
dude.
Every single year.
Do you have like a favorite cousin? Like every time you see him,
I do. My third cousin's twice removed.
Yo, what's her name?
Thompson and wait, bro! I just had the craziest. Oh my god!
Wait, is it Thompson and someone else who forget their name?
Huh?
Did you forget their name?
I did. I'm literally, bro. I literally just blanked. So they cannot see this clip now. See, I want to say it's Carmen, but now I'm like, I've had a brain fart and now I'm guessing myself in remembering this name and I'm almost too embarrassed to try.
They're probably dedicated listeners and now they're like,
I feel like we talked about podcasts too the last time that we saw each other. She's a volunteer firefighter. She speaks Russian fluently. She's like a badass.
Yo.
And she could kick my ass 3 times over.
If
and
you know Russian alone, you can kick my ass too.
I mean, yeah. Just your tongue could just slap somebody around. But wait.
He's gonna look it up.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's probably afraid like she'd hunt him down now.
Dude, I don't even know if they have social media. I'm not gonna cap. Yeah. Family, funerals, it's all a thing. Me and Riley's background. You learned a little bit about me and Riley today, so in our connection, which is great. But I think, do we have... Would I be the a-hole if I canceled my mother's flight for Christmas? Riley.
Yeah, honestly.
Depends on the mom.
Depends on the mom. We read one that was kind of crazy, but you are the a-hole.
Ooh.
That's my take. Okay, what's your thing?
I think if you're willing to fly out your mom in the first place, you're not flying out your mom that's like crazy and like deserving of it to be canceled.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with you're the a-hole too. Because, but I like...
That's your mom. I wouldn't do that to my mom.
I know there's probably some crazy cooking, but like, again, I'm like, would you pay for a flight flight to a mom who really is so like there's definitely moms who don't deserve to be flown out because they'd be doing some crazy stuff.
They'd be on crack.
But Riley, there's only one way to find out. Spill that tea. And this one comes from Donkey Kong 1207.
Uh-oh.
They say, my 30 male mother booked a $350 flight to come visit me and my girlfriend, 24 female, for the holidays. This would be her first time meeting my girlfriend, and we made plans to get dinner with my girlfriend's family her last night in town.
I really hope this isn't something racist.
Oh,
I just
God.
smell it. That's what I say, but I really hope it's not.
Oh, God. Today, my mom called to express her concerns about common law marriage in Texas. My girlfriend and I live together and accused my girlfriend of trying to manipulate me to gain control of my assets. And producer Riley, could you very quickly Google or chat GPT common law marriage in Texas specifically? Because I am curious to see what exactly that means.
Oh, an informal marriage.
Yeah, in Texas, common law marriage, also known as informal marriage, is legally recognized even without a ceremony or a marriage license. However, there are specific requirements that need to be met. Contrary to popular belief, the length of the couple's time together is not a determining factor in establishing a common law marriage in Texas. To establish it, the partner must agree to be married, live together as husband and wife, hold themselves as a married couple. So it kind of sounds like you both have to be agreeing on it, and there is still some form of like...
I think what she's worried about is, they're spending a lot of time with each other and they're like basically married. And their girlfriend is taking your things from you.
Yeah.
Be wary.
Mother-in-law accusing the girlfriend of being a gold digger. But let's see. This upsets me since she has never met my girlfriend and barely knows anything about her. I called her crazy and she asked me to cancel her flight, but then backtracked when she realized that she couldn't get a refund or credit. Not my $350. She requested that I kick my girlfriend out of our house for the duration of her stay and said that she would not meet her parents as originally planned.
Whoa.
Yeah, let me just kick my girlfriend out of her own house. Like, they're living together, right?
You don't even you gotta meet her.
This is crazy.
You have no vibes to go off.
Yeah, you have nothing. My girlfriend is disappointed as she bought non-refundable gifts and prepared several vegetarian dishes for my mom so she could be comfortable during her stay.
There it is.
See? Wait, what? There's what?
Wait. Oh, is the mom vegetarian?
Yeah, the mom is vegetarian.
There it is.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, she's not just picky about her food. She's picky about her people. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I smelt it.
And also, look at the girlfriend going above and beyond. She's buying non-refundable gifts, which
She's
means...
trying to make a good first impression.
Yeah, these gifts are probably really nice if they're non-refundable. And she's going out of her way to make her dishes to make sure that she feels comfortable and, is at home. Girlfriend is a peach so far. Pun intended. It's a vegetable. Peaches are a vegetable, okay? I'm an idiot. Deal with it.
We love you, man.
Thanks. So, girlfriend said that she doesn't want to drive a wedge between my mom and I and offered to leave when she visits. Wow, she's even
dude,
down
she's so nice.
Dude, stop.
Oh.
I, however, realized that I don't want to deal with my mom's drama if she did come, and also didn't want to make my girlfriend leave. If I cancel her flight, I would send her back the $200 she gave me for Christmas. So, would I be the a-hole if I cancel my mom's flight before Christmas, knowing that she wouldn't get a full refund and has already taken the days off work?
Compromised. Your mom comes, but she deals with the girlfriend.
I'm almost like, do you want your mom there now for the holidays? I feel like it's just gonna be so lame. Here's another compromise. She comes, you, OP, pay for her own hotel. Give her her own space nearby.
$200 to get her hotel.
It's in Texas. Probably not too expensive,
You
relatively
find a
speaking.
nice Airbnb.
Find a nice Airbnb. Be like, Mom, I'm going to 100% cover you. It'll be close by. It'll be 5-10 minute drive away or less. You can come see us at all times, but be able to have their separate space. I feel like that is a very considerate move, but I'm also I kind of like the idea of being
Mom,
you got to chill out.
Yeah,
if
I'm an
you want to
adult.
come, you need to respect me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And if not, then maybe then you could be then I'm just getting you your own place and then having you stay there.
Then you should have rose me better.
Yeah, go on.
That's what I would say.
Be a better mom. Actually, bro, OP, it's looking I don't know who raised OP with these ideals, but it seems like OP has ideals that the mom doesn't, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Well, we have an update. First of all, thank you to everyone who commented. This is a shared account with my girlfriend, so she was able to read through a lot of her comments and it helped her feel better about the situation.
Yo, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. Shared Reddit account. You don't like it?
I don't like it, dude. Just use your Gmail and make another account. Is it that hard? Because sorry, for my user experience, I'm going to be seeing scrolling through, video thing,
your
video
own algorithm.
editing. And then it's going to be whatever her algorithm is.
I would feel the same way. I was under the impression that they kind of made this Reddit account for this situation.
Okay, that's cute.
You could be right there. You totally could be right there. Maybe they do share a Reddit account.
I'm just reaching.
Which, if someone shared my Spotify account, no.
What?
No.
I'm okay with a Spotify account.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
or
that's
are you joking?
That's $10 a month, dog. They can make their own playlist.
No. You are going to change my algorithms. I need my algorithms to cater music to. That is key. That is crucial. You can mess up my Reddit algorithm. You cannot mess up my Spotify algorithm.
Anyways, total sidetrack, back to the story. We received some good advice from an early commenter and tried to salvage the trip. So, late last night, I called my mom. Long story short, she will still be visiting and my girlfriend is not going anywhere. Woo! There we go. Mom did apologize for implying that girlfriend was trying to manipulate me, but still refuses to meet with my girlfriend's family. We told my girlfriend's family that we would try to convince mom to go to the dinner, but if she was too stubborn, my girlfriend and I will leave her at home and still get dinner. Unfortunately, this extreme paranoia/anxiety is not out of character for her. She makes everything more difficult than it needs to be. To the people who commented about early stage dementia, I think there is a strong possibility that she has this or some other serious mental health issues, but she refuses to go to a doctor. I've tried making appointments for her, but she always finds an excuse/issue that prevents her from going. Anyways, we'll update here again after her visit if there's any more drama, but hopefully this is the last y'all will hear from me. That is the end of the story.
Wow.
I'd be curious if any of you in the comments have any experiences like this.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your story, but I think that's a wrap. If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
And we love you.
And see you tomorrow. Boom.